Looks like we have everybody here though, so might as well kick this thing off. We got about 30 people in this place. So really quick, let me bring up my outline and then we can kick this off. So last time we had one of these was I think November 21st or something, somewhere around there, but I think we had just announced ZK ETH. And so now 2 weeks later, we have officially launched ZK ETH, as some of you may have noticed. So that brings us to, I think, somewhere around 5 or 6 branded LSTs launched, with three of them announced, with 3 of them launched, which is pretty good. I think one of the things about ZK ETH that's worth noting is we launched it within the timeline that we did because they have an Ignite program, which is their sort of like big ecosystem incentives program. And I think they recently delayed that to something like January 6th. Yeah. So between now and then, it'll be a little bit of a slow burn as we kind of try to grow mind share on ZK Sync. I mean, they're obviously putting a lot of their weight behind it. They supported the announcement. They'll continue to do that. And they also hinted that it'll be part of the Ignite program. So keep an eye out over the next month-ish as we, 6 ETH locked right now, but we're going to get that up to 6 billion ETH or something. We'll slowly grow it over the holidays. As you all know, like December is kind of a weird-ish time to launch stuff, but coming into the new year, ZK ETH will, be included into the Ignite program. It'll have incentives. We partnered with Maverick Protocol for liquidity. There's a couple of other opportunities on a ZK Sync era mainnet that we are going to pursue. And we'll make sure, and all of those get Ignite incentives, if I'm not mistaken. So there'll be plenty of opportunities for additional yield on top of your ZK ETH yield in about a month or so. So we'll want to make sure to keep promoting ZK ETH, keep it in front of people, and keep working with the ZK Sync team to make sure that it grows as big as it can. We also have Orb ETH still in the pipeline, by the way. And I believe there's going to be, remember that ZK ETH and Orb ETH both have like these chain ecosystems built around the main chain. So ZK Sync has all of these like elastic chains, and then Arbitrum has all of these orbit chains. And so our goal with both of these is to expand them across all of the chains building within that ecosystem. And it'll be cool to have, as many chains as we can rally behind sort of the main LST. And I don't know exactly what the Orbi timeline looks like, or launch looks like, but we'll keep you all in the loop as we get closer. I think on November 22nd, also circling back a little bit, we had the Ourbit Dinero centralized exchange listing. I think that's like one of those things where it's a good win to kick off some of the centralized exchange efforts. Sometimes it takes getting small to mid-tier exchanges to list a token in order to get momentum to go into the bigger exchanges. So we'll, of course, keep you guys updated. I think they did a giveaway as well, but I don't know what the final results of that were, if it's still ongoing. So that's something you're interested in, go check it out if it's still in progress. I think I'm looking at it right now. Oh no, it just ended yesterday actually, so never mind. So shout out to whoever won that. We also, another big branded LST related announcement that kind of went under the radar, but this is a good forum for talking about it, is our collaboration with Gelato. So for those of you who are not familiar, Gelato is a roll-up as a service platform. They have a couple of big partners that I will let you all go find yourself, but they also are doing a lot of BD work on finding various L2s that they can provide rollups for. And we announced a partnership with them to basically push native yield to their BD pipeline. So like one of the calls we had with them, I don't know, whatever, last week or the week before, and it was a good point, is that in the era of like L2 launches, they need to find ways to have an edge. And there's no better way to have an edge than to offer yield to your users. especially if they're just, depositing on the L2, kind of like Blast or whatever. And so partnerships like this are a big win for us, especially on the branded LST front, because now we have partners doing BD on our behalf in order to integrate branded LSTs. And so there's a couple names on their partner list that I would keep an eye out for, and there's also, I'm sure, going to be more going into the future. So I don't know, Sammy, if there's anything you want to add on Gelato.
No, nothing immediate. You guys will start to see some of the partnerships we do together with them.
Yeah, so stuff like this is a big win. We'll keep trying to work with infrastructure providers like this to get branded LSTs as deeply embedded as we can. I think it's also a good vote of confidence to have teams like this choosing to sort of promote our products for us and make it part of their offering. We'll probably see a little bit more of this on some of the other stuff we're working on, but we'll save that for a future call. Cool. Beyond that, Reflexivity Research also put out a report, which you should all spread the word about. Basically, Reflexivity is a well-known sort of research firm owned by Anthony Pompliano, Will Clemente, a couple of other people. So we're working with them on getting out some Dinero-related communications and shilling. I think we'll do a couple of reports with them over the next couple of quarters. We basically want to make sure that we have as many third parties writing about Dinero as we can, and so putting out research reports like this are a big part of that. I don't know who it was, Phil Terrence or somebody yesterday shared the screenshot of that report popping up in the Bloomberg terminal. This stuff like this is like a big win on the institutional side. That's where they get their information. So the more we can do to put Dinero in front of them, the better. I think we have a couple more people we're working on too in the near future, so I won't leak those yet, but when those come out, please make sure to amplify and give them a read. Let's see, what else do we have? Sammy, you want to talk about this top hat thing? What is this?
We're pivoting to AI, guys. We're in the middle of our AI pivot. A top hat is similar to virtuals, if you guys have seen that, except it's on Solana. And we're gonna be like leveraging them to create a bunch of agents, like you guys might have seen on Twitter, that are like, answering community questions in Discord, chilling on Twitter, translating all the stuff we have into like different languages and stuff. So we got like a Mandarin Chinese one, we got like a Korean one, we got Spanish, obviously. So like lots of it'll just help with like distribution a lot. So like now there'll be like one tweet and it'll be like translated into every single language without us having to pay anyone for that. And it'll come up with some good, tweets shilling us. And
is it kind of like that XBT account that's I've like seen replying? AI. Yeah, okay.
It has a strong bias towards Dinero.
Yeah, I mean, this type of stuff.
Someone asked about if we're doing the token. We're not launching tokens with them, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that it's a cool experiment. It's worth trying out. We have the intern account, which has been flooding the timeline with memes, and so it would be cool to have AI also doing that on our behalf, especially if that's going to become some sort of a meta. So yeah, we'll be working with Top Hat on that. Hopefully we can get those out relatively soon and just make sure to amplify that shit whenever it goes live. It'll be a fun experiment. Were you going to say something, Indy? Good? No. Gangster, they're not stealing your job. They're supplementing it.
They're stealing your job, gangster.
Okay, well, we kind of speed ran through a lot of the announcements over the past couple of weeks. I mean, we were mostly heads down focused on getting ZK ETH out. We're also going to be doing something very similar for another branded LST over the next week or two. We want to get something else out before the holidays, because as you all know, we're basically the only team that like works through Christmas and whatnot. Some of these other teams take off for the whole month. It's also just like a shit month to launch. As you all remember, we kind of launched PXETH last Christmas-ish. And, it's basically dead for whatever, 3 weeks during that period. The suits are always off during that period. It's just not great. So ideally, we do a little bit of a sprint in the next 2 weeks to launch before the holiday break. We'll get some stuff out and it should be exciting. Yeah, Funky mentioned that there was a little bit of a leak in the speculator channel. I don't know who found it. So shout out to whoever found that for the digs. But that is one of the things in the pipeline that is worth keeping an eye on. Announcement on anniversary. We'll figure something out. I don't know exactly what we could do, but we'll find something cool to do maybe. I mean, ideally I can get the merch done sooner rather than later. It's been a bit on the back burner as we've been grinding to get all of this other stuff out, but I know that people want some merch. So give your mom, dad, grandparents some Dinero merch for Christmas. Maybe that's the move. And I don't know, it probably isn't worth talking about the leak that was in the speculator channel, but if you want to go find it. And whenever the time is right, we will spend more time discussing. Can we get an update on the strategy/timeline to start Dinero buybacks using PXETH revenue? Feels like a good time to implement that. I mean, I think our answer is mostly the same as last call. There's not like an explicit timeline, but I know Funky is saying that we're really close. But what's the leak? Go look in speculator. You'll find it. Are you talking about bringing your leftovers? What do you mean, gangster?
The other thing is the research articles that are starting to come out. So like over the past like few months, we've obviously been talking to a bunch of like research firms, some of them that you guys might be familiar with, some not, that like have like really good like institutional distribution. And they've been helping us a lot with like getting the word out there, and you're starting to see some of them come live now. Reflexivity is run by Will Clement and also our boy Pomp. Colton was on a doxed video call with Pomp shilling him Dinero. And it looks like they got their thoughts out on Twitter and also Bloomberg Terminal again. So that's our second time on Bloomberg this year. And yeah, a bunch of other cool stats in there that they distributed to like their whole wide network of like institutional investors and funds that are like signed up for their platform. So yeah, you'll start to see more stuff like that coming out where it's like not just us on our Twitter getting the word out there, but also a bunch of these research groups and funds that we're working with as well. So that's just another thing to keep an eye on. It obviously the main distribution for those is not Twitter, but they do like consolidate them into Twitter. So like whatever support you guys can give on those Twitter posts would be much appreciated. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like one of the big distributions for Reflexivity, I mean, I'm sure we could say it is they have a deal with CoinMarketCap, who has like an active monthly newsletter. They do social posts about it, and so doing this stuff with Reflexivity is a good way to tap into that additional distribution. Like it's basically a play to get in front of people, and so we're going to try to do as much of that as we can, especially going into the like IPXE deposits and whatnot. We want to make sure we're maximizing eyeballs. When Top Hat AI live, by the way, Timmy, do you know the timeline for that?
We're waiting to get back access to some of the other Twitter accounts that we had. It's better to like, because the way the Twitter settings are set up, it's easy to get shadow banned if you just spin up a new account and just start tweeting like crazy. So we're waiting to get access back to some of the old Dinero redacted related Twitter accounts that we had so that we can repurpose them into these bots so that they don't get shadow banned. So yeah.
Yeah. When merch? Soon, very soon. Yeah. It's not been a priority, but we'll get it. We'll get it ready. Yeah, somebody said 2.0 already. You won't even know it happens in terms of like if you're an active depositor. It's a smooth thing.
For what?
PXE like version 2 basically. It's like a
No.
tech. It's a tech upgrade, and it's a good yield upgrade.
and hope yeah, good yield upgrade, and hopefully maybe even some restaking stuff in there too.
$1 Dinero repeg merch would hit hard. Yeah, we can do something like that. In the merch, can we have a hoodie with full transcript of Colton and Funky's victory lap speech? Yeah, I have a speech that will be going out on the day of the first IPX ETH deposit, and we'll just slap that on the front and the back as long as you'll buy it. Even though we make no money, I actually lost money on the merch, the last merch run. Even though you guys bought the shit out of it, that's how low I made the prices. Something to think about. MK capitulation speech, yeah. What about mode though? For fuck's sake. Let's see. Mode. Okay, funny enough, Sammy made an AI pivot joke earlier. Could be something there.
It's honestly, guys, it's like mode is just like the guys we're dealing with there are good guys, but it's kind of a mess. Like it's hard for us to like make anything like ZK saying, for example, like we reached out to them like maybe a month ago, and then we got the whole thing done. It's already live on mainnet like now, right? So like these things are like not in our control. If there's like a very like strong team behind him with like people that understand it and can get behind it and everything, it's a lot easier for us to move compared to like you know just getting like new blockers from just like lack of understanding and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, and the partners we're working with are just as big, if not bigger, opportunities. So I think whenever we figure out something with mode, it'll happen. But for the proposal that got leaked in Speculator, you can start to see why we haven't, been super focused on mode. But we're still trying to figure something out with them. By the way, regarding deposit tracker, will there be a split between PXETH normal deposits and IPX institutional deposits? Yeah, you'll be able to see the difference between the two. Because one thing to remember is like the funds between IPXETH and PXETH are not commingled. That's what makes it able to be an institutional product. Can we get an update on that optimism proposal? I actually way prefer this structure for the community calls, by the way, where we're just like chatting with you guys rather than me going through a big agenda. But I don't know. Maybe I could start gathering conversational points throughout the week from Discord and we can just address them like that. It's a way, I feel like a Twitch streamer or something. And Cheng, I'm not a boomer, we're the same age. Can we get an update on that optimism proposal that was dropped in Speculator this week? I don't know if we should cover it right now or if we should wait until we're sort of going into launch. I mean, I think I'm Legendary Eagle Master. Yeah, I was Global Elite at my peak, so hold that L. Let's see. Yeah, we'll talk about the optimism thing later.
There's just certain things for like some of these bigger launches we want to do and partnerships we want to do. Like, obviously you guys being very involved are gonna see things, but like don't ruin it for everyone else.
Yeah, so I think we'll talk about it later when there's more pieces in place. I think all that we would share is what's in the proposal anyway. Yeah, figure we're not going to talk about my Dota gameplay. That was an embarrassing point during Redacted's history. Bond God was Legendary Eagle too. Yeah, are both trash. Colson playing Dota was worse than my friend. Does anybody actually here remember the Dota thing that happened? What was it, Concave we played with or played against? Funky remembers.
It was that Ohm fork on Phantom.
Are you sure? I thought it was, or Concave hosted the event, maybe?
Yeah.
You have the graphic. Dude, it was so bad. I don't think we got a single kill on them. Brent is LEM.
We're about to break 100 on 123 channel. No one fuck it up.
It's actually really sad that everybody in here who's played CSGO, their peak was LEM. Needs to be way better. Why Dota League way better? That's just not true. I played in some Valorant tourney and won 1K. Yeah, I mean Valorant's like the children's version of Counter-Strike. So, what, Sammy?
Chad is getting banned.
Why would he do?
At
He
least
broke it.
restart it. He broke 1, 2, 3 like a
Damn.
minute after they said not to.
CS:GO match with Dinero prizes. Yeah, I mean, if everybody just wants to get smoked by whoever's on my team, we can do a Counter Strike tournament. Joker Frog, Brent cooking a juicy blast proposal. Yeah. So there was a little bit of chatter this week about doing some like collaboration with Blast. It's something we reached out to them about like a long time ago, especially like early on after we launched. I think the issue was at that point we were kind of much smaller than Lido, which they had decided to already go with, and so yeah, I mean, if there's a lot of momentum behind something like that now, it would be cool. More people like League of Legends than Dota. Yeah, that means League of Legends is like a children's game, right? People generally gravitate towards the game that's easiest to play. I'm helping encourage activity in the Discord. No, you broke a incredible streak, Chud. That's sad.
And then right after that, me and Dave said one at the same time and broke it again.
Don't let anyone tell you that you are small, Colton. All right. No Diddy. IPX ETH update soon. I know we say soon a lot, but soon can mean a lot of things. But we're cruising. The goal is to get something done before holidays. That's what we want. Colton and I got the numbers to 750 or so in peak bear early days. Did we really? Is that the 1, 2, 3 counter all time high? Fire. See, Sammy, you have to be at 750
No,
in
but
there.
we haven't broken 100 in like the past like 4 months or something.
Maybe me and Twinkie have to get back in there and make 1, 2, 3 counter great again. Win tier 1 sex so that my suits can invest in Dinero. Hopefully soon. We're working on it. Look, I think with the centralized exchange thing too, like we couldn't even tell you if we wanted to. So we're working on it. Like we probably said this on every community call, but like look at what everybody else is doing to get centralized exchange listings. We don't want to do that. Full stop. Like Scroll giving a huge chunk of their total supply, stuff like this. So we just want to be careful about doing this type of thing. Oh yeah, I forgot Ansem versus BitBoy. That is crazy. Is that this weekend?
Tonight.
It's tonight?
Yeah.
Tonight Dubai time?
Yeah.
So what? Like 5 hours?
Probably like
2 hours?
next week. Yeah.
Damn. Want to watch that. Win Colton. I would love to do one of these. Find me an opponent. Should it be like the Lido CMO or something? Colton versus Marcus on the undercard. I think he's under 18. That would be illegal. No Diddy. One deposit would dispel so much. Yeah, we agree. A deposit would be good for IPX ETH. We're trying to push the suits to get it done. Yeah, out of our hands.
Out of our hands, but we're trying to take matters into our own hands the best we can.
Grab the bull by the horns, as they say in the great state of Texas. BitBoy has that retard strength. Yeah, that's probably true. The cocaine strength. BitBoy by TKO. Yeah, the last Ansem performance was unfortunate. Hopefully he trained a little bit more this time around. That would be just a bad way to go out, losing to BitBoy. Guys, me and Marcus can't be on a card. He's under 18. I would have to ask his parents to sign a waiver. Ansem's parents were D1 football and track. Yeah, he's tall as shit. He just needs to actually train for it. If sex pumps token price, though, blah, 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 yeah. Of course, if token price goes up, that's good for incentives. His dad was on the Eagles. Is that true? Ansem's dad played for the Eagles? That can't be true. I'm going to need some evidence. I asked Brent karate combat. He dodges every time. Yeah, I would actually prefer to do karate combat.
It's a Joker. I think like there was a day just the other day where we did like over 1 million in volume on Albert. So there's days where we're doing more volume on Arbit than on the dexes. So it's been going good for such a small exchange. So some more should be good. What were you saying, Colton?
Oh, Karate Combat. I was saying, yeah, I think Karate Combat's more entertaining than the influencer boxing stuff. Why won't he do it, Chang? Get Brent in there. Vice
Yeah,
Specs found the
today
volume.
it's doing about today it's doing around half of the volume we're doing on Dex. So some bigger exchanges, which this exchange just launched this cycle, so I think some other exchanges can like really get the numbers up.
Cool. When Gemini listing, who knows? Or another idea, some kind of team fighting club, Lido versus Dinero 5v5. Team deathmatch. Yeah. Lido's like way nerdier than us, though. I think we might have a good chance. Bunch of nerds. Okay. Any other questions before we wrap this thing up and give Sammy a little bit of a break between this and the Flare AMA? Colton should do a joke. Hell no. I'm way past that. I'm the host here. Jokes are for bear markets, yeah. All right. Well, if there's no final questions that we already answered that earlier, Cosmica. What's the plan for Barachain launch? So we'll be doing something there, but we'll put that out when the time comes. Cool. All right. Well, looks like we made it to the half-hour mark and covered everybody's questions. So look out over the next 2 weeks before the holidays. We'll be sprinting to try to get some stuff out. Hopefully you'll all be pleasantly surprised. And yeah, tune into Sammy's AMA later with Flare and Retail DAO. Should be good. And there's a chance to win some money. So that's never a bad thing. We will see you all. Let's see, what would be the next one? The 20th? So right before the holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you all right before the holidays, and good luck out there. Hopefully the bull market is beginning. Cool. Peace, guys.
Peace.
Maybe we can plan something Christmas stream.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Peace.